That borders on if marriage is a necessity. And seated in front of me are strong minded people, or should I say, very opinionated people, very deep thinkers as well. So, two gentlemen and two amazing ladies as well. And so, of course, Ngozi Boateng, my co-host. We are here together. Yeah. She is part of the panel today. Seated next to her is yours truly, the sports Latan Jonathan. And Jonathan is also seated. And then for the first time joining us on this show is Mr. Michael Jokoto. He happens to be our chaplain, if I do say so myself. He is also, should I say, a marriage counselor, and he is also part of our technical heads here at Z101.9 FM. He's also seated, and he's going to be sharing with us some expertise when it comes to this discussion. And last but not the least is our one and only Mama Lee, aka Mrs. Linda Kwashiga Abe, who is an actress, a producer. She's done her bit when it comes to the entertainment scene, and also she is the wife of our very own Idi Coco. So just so you know, we are very, very much ready for you, and we are packed as well. So we are all here in the studios of Z101.9 FM, and the conversation is just about beginning. When it comes to marriage, Ngozi has not tasted marriage before. No. Jonathan has not tasted marriage before. So I'll start off with them. But then I'll start off with Mr. Jokoto and then Mali. So Mike and then Mali will tell us what marriage is all about, or the concept of marriage, what it is. Ladies first? Okay, ladies first. So Mali, do us the honest.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Oh, you?
Yeah, mama.
Udi asama ba. Inkrani ba kase. Ukesane ba. Yeah, but then we'll get over it. There are two sides of a coin to this question. Yes. Is marriage a necessity? This is a typical example. I can't quote like Mr. Jokoto would, but I know that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with us. Mr. Jokoto, am I right? Thank you, I got it right.
The Word was with us?
Hey, the word was with God. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God.
Right.
Fine. So I see it as God himself ordained marriage.
Okay.
Yes. In the beginning. If I take an example of Adam and Eve, when God created Adam, he asked for Eve. Okay. If marriage was not ordained, I think God would have refused it. But he accepted.
Okay.
Yeah, he did it. And he created Eve. The Noah's Ark, same thing. Yes. How did the animals enter the ark?
Pair.
Yes.
So man and woman, male and female.
Male and female.
Right.
Yes. So in the beginning. I'm stressing that. In the beginning. Yes.
So marriage was there from the beginning.
Yes. So you can see that, yes, it was a necessity.
Okay.
God ordained it.
Okay.
However, in the true sense, now, for me, when it all started, it was okay, it was cool. I mean, you have to be married. Okay?
Yeah.
If you come to the house 1, 2, 3 times with a guy, immediately the next question is, okay, what's happening here?
Yeah.
Who is he? Or when is it going to happen?
Right.
Yes. So for us, the old, how do you refer to us?
The generation.
Yes.
X.
Oh, we are the boomers. Okay, so
Are you asking of your generation or?
yes, because I hear there's a Gen Zs and
Yeah.
so we are the boomers. Okay, well, fine. I don't know, but for us, we believe that yes, the moment you start, you have to end it. Yes, that's how it was for us. But then I said, however, now, in the true sense, this marriage a necessity, I don't see it anymore. Yes, I don't see it anymore. If I see the Ngozis and the Oforiwes and the Jonathans, I mean, what is it? Like, is it by force?
I know, right? Mali, you are not a generation boomer. She's not from the 60s. She's a generation X.
Oh, okay. Hey, wow. Yes. You guys have terms, eh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because the boomers are the very old. These are grannies.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I'm generation X.
Yes, please. Just like I told you the last time.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I see. Wonderful. So for now, marriage is not a necessity.
It's not a necessity in today's world.
In today's world.
Okay.
It's
all right.
It's a personal choice.
Okay. I like that. A personal choice.
It's a personal choice.
I like the way Brown Mike has been smiling all through your submission.
It's a personal choice.
Now, I'm going to have him talk to us and then he also tell us what he thinks of the concept of marriage. What does it mean to you personally?
Okay, so thank you for drawing me from my desk.
I like that I was able to do that.
Anyway, so just like Mama Lee said, we start from the very beginning of creation.
Right.
And Bible in Genesis 2 verse 18 says,
I told you, the verses will flow.
And the Lord God said,
yeah.
And the Lord God said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him a helper comparable to him.
Okay.
So after creating man, God himself saw that it was not good for man to be alone. The catch point there is loneliness. And then again, there is something worth noting, helpmate.
Yeah.
So it means that marriage comes in to satisfy two different things from this: loneliness and help.
Okay.
So when we look at marriage from that direction, we realize how important it is to every man. There is something in loneliness. You realize that somebody is wealthy, well-to-do in every aspect, but has no companion. And because of that, might just take his life. He feels that there's no one around me.
Yeah, nobody loves or cares.
Exactly. And so that loneliness aspect can cause so much. And that was why God thought, no, the man needs a helper. And that began the institution of marriage. And let's see this. When the man saw the woman created, he said, alas, this is bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. The man realized that, at last I have gotten something or someone that I can relate to. And so marriage in its real sense gives that companionship, that ability for both parties to relate to each other, just as God would relate to us. Okay. So marriage is more like a reflection of how God relates with us. So for me, if you ask of its necessity, even as at today, it is very necessary. But it is depending on how you look at it. When we look at it from the Christian perspective, marriage is very necessary.
Right.
But when you look at it from the developed world perspective, which is the worldly perspective as I would put it, then it becomes a matter of choice.
Yes.
Okay.
Personal choice.
I think I would end it here for now.
Okay, the way Jonathan has just pulled up the microphone. Energy.
The heat is coming.
Jonathan,
Yes.
do you agree or disagree?
I won't lie. I don't want to beat around the bush. I disagree big time.
How?
One, when Mama Lee was speaking, she said something that back then it was good, it was something good, helpful, but in true sense. And only then, question number one that she will answer. I'll come back to her.
Hey.
Yeah.
Energy.
The moment you say something was good, until now we have something called true sense. Are you trying to say at that time, what are the changes? You'll come there. And when my big man here too was speaking, he said something that from the Christian perspective, marriage is actually, a necessity. But the other Christopher, are we not part of the developed world? Yeah, are we not in there? We also fall in that bracket.
Okay.
We are in the same world. Nothing has changed. There are some things, no matter how marriage becomes dirty in the eyes of us, the developed world, just as he said, marriage is a necessity. And I have reasons to back this.
Hey.
Have
you ever been married?
No.
Okay.
But my grandpa once told me that marriage is not just a piece of paper. It's not just about the agreement. Not just the union or even an institution. A man would, take the time to even license his car, dog, gun. No, you have to treat women greater. You have to be married as a man. It's a natural thing. Put procreation aside. If you go biblically, then Proverbs 8:22 will let you know that if a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing.
Hey.
And based on that, God will what? Favor you.
Oh, I'm shocked.
Right?
So the thing is, the world can be toxic to the point of even if the last person is alive, that person, it is mandatory for him or her to get married. No matter how the system will get spoiled. Before I sum up, my last reason is from the senior high school to the junior high school to the primary, we've been learning social studies. Whether you are poor or rich, whether you are a Christian or a traditional or a Muslim. But Abraham Maslow hierarchy of human needs. These are needs. What we need to stay. The whole world standard, it is accepted everywhere. Abraham Maslow hierarchy of human needs. Put the physiological needs aside. When you talk about food, water, can you do away with food and water? No. You accepted that, and now say, you can't do away with that. The same way Abraham Maslow moved from physiological needs, not about safety and security. You can't do away with your safety and security, your properties, your livelihoods, what you do, what you earn. Let's put the second one away. Love and belonging. Abraham Maslow, why are we trying to categorize that one into Christianity, developed countries? Why developed people don't? The reason is the moment you say it's a choice in this world, there are some few things that will influence your choice. It will influence what you choose. Mufti Menk, a Muslim scholar, and also Jordan Patterson, one of the Greek scholars that I do listen, says something that the desire for the opposite gender, if you have the desire for the opposite gender, these are the things you need before you can get married. The desire for the opposite gender, put that one aside. Your health. If you are healthy, you are not important. Put that one. Financially too, you are stable. If financially you are stable, you are capable of doing all these things. You have the sense of belonging. You're able to feel the sense of connection, and you are financially stable. Underlined word is what? Financially stable. And you choose not to marry. You end up one day eventually using all these capabilities to do the other wrong thing, which you are not expected to do. I won't go to fornication and other stuff because you end up doing the wrong things along the line. But if you marry, it sets you apart. It puts you in shape to the point of you have an aim. You are in an institution, something that you are working towards. So these are the only things that can stop.
But from the way you're speaking, not to cut you, it's almost as though you're making it sound like it's mandatory. Because if Mike and Mali are all saying that is a choice, you get to decide whether you want to get married or not.
So
but you are making it sound like because the Bible has ordained
I'm not talking about only the Bible.
No, relax. You're saying that even as a traditionalist, you know that marriage is good. So you're making it sound as though it is mandatory.
Yes.
By force, you have to
Of-
marry in the
but
rule of
I give
Jonathan.
I give some
creation.
I give some performance indicators.
Is
Something
it
that
a
wait.
necessity?
Mali, let him finish.
Being a necessity to me, a big necessity. But I
Okay.
give some underlying things that you have to consider before you even start it.
Yes,
And
but
one is the financial
individually,
reasons.
listen,
Individually,
individually,
if I am financially stable,
yes,
capable, healthy,
Yes.
the sense of belonging is there. Not say I'm not, impotent. And I tell
would
myself
want to
that
get
I won't
married.
marry. I'll end up eventually doing the wrong things
but
in
that
the
doesn't
society.
mean that you are mandated to marry.
No.
It's your
So,
choice. So
Jonathan,
then you
no,
are right
so-
to say
no,
that.
you're
No,
right to
Oferiwa.
choose not to marry. Meanwhile, you have all of these. These things. You are capable of doing all of these things, but you choose not to marry. And I'm trying to let you know that there
Yeah.
are only 3 categories of people on planet Earth. Either you're a traditionalist, either you're a Muslim or a Christian. If like tell me that you don't believe, but you want to get children.
Yeah.
Do you know Abraham Maslow hierarchy of human needs? Having a family is also in there.
Yes.
Do you believe in that?
I'm not-
Belonging to
hold on,
the
one
sense
minute.
of connection. Do you know it's in there and the human needs?
Yes, it
if
is.
this is called a need and not just a want, will you choose to eat or not? I'm asking you.
It is if I decide to
Eating
starve
to be choice.
myself.
You starve to death. So,
That is my choice.
so eventually you will die.
Let
Yes,
me
you have-
address-
So
let me address
eventually you
this
will die.
point.
If
Okay,
you don't
hold
eat,
on, hold
Wait,
on.
wait,
And
let-
that
let
is
me-
my personal
to die.
choice.
Then I have a perfect example for you. I know a drunkard. He never got married until one day
Yes.
he went out, nightclub. He came back drunk. My grandma would just
Drunk.
my grandma would just go and find some food for him to eat before he would go to bed because those people, late in the night, kids, they
Yeah.
can die. One day, my grandma traveled. Do you know why?
Because there was nobody there to attend to him.
So this is even the smallest importance of marriage.
It doesn't dispute
There's
the
no
fact.
companion.
Listen, it does not
It
dispute the
doesn't
fact that
mean
I
that
get to decide whether
whether
I
I
would want somebody or not.
And he spoke about
Relax, relax.
Fine.
Okay, Mali.
I'm married. Okay. When I started, I
Yeah.
said God ordained it. Okay?
Yes.
Fine. But as things are going on, your generation, it looks like marriage is not on
Ordained.
your table.
Ordained
Do you
in-
understand?
Wait,
Jonathan, wait. Let me land.
Can you let her
Listen. I'm saying now.
Marriage.
Now,
Hold on.
people can choose.
But she has not
People
said it's no
can
longer
choose
ordained.
to
Listen.
marry or
not
not.
on the table.
Jonathan,
That's not what she
Jonathan,
said.
stop it. Stop
Listen.
it. I'm
listen
saying
to
that
understand, not listen to
it
react.
is
Okay,
necessity. Do you know that some ladies these days, he spoke about financially sound.
Yeah.
Fine. A lot of ladies now are financially sound.
Very
Yeah.
independent.
Some are even
Better off,
better off
than
than the men.
True.
Yes.
Okay, so she has money, she has her car, she has everything that she needs, but she doesn't think that it is a
She
necessity.
needs-
You know what? She tells herself that I have it. I have all. Okay, all I need is a man
Yeah.
in my life.
Yeah.
Okay, he gets a man, he impregnates her, he's talking about children. Yes, she has a child.
Even people are
She's
getting
cool.
kids out
She's
of
okay.
surrogacy and all
That is
of
what is
that.
happening
Marriage-
now. It is
marriage.
happening.
Yeah, for me, I think marriage is not a necessity. I think marriage is like a financial decision for people who don't have enough and they want someone
They want
to partner
yes.
with them in life. But when you actually
So you think it's more of a partnership
it's
or a
more of-
companionship
it's
thingy?
a partnership.
Okay.
It's companionship. You can be in your house and I can be in. I don't. Why do you even want someone in your face 247? Why do
Okay.
you want to get married? Like, what is the use?
So that you have company,
that's
so that
what
you're not
I'm saying.
lonely.
If I'm not known, then you can visit me as and when. Because personally, I really don't like people in my face 247. I don't want to wake up and see you there every single time. Oh yeah, then
You see?
Oh,
where's
wow.
your house?
Jonathan,
Oh,
you
go
see?
home.
So,
like, do something. Like, go away.
Why are you
Kaka.
here? Are you homeless?
Are you homeless? Where's your mother's house? Where's
Okay.
your father's house? Get out.
Okay,
You
but that does
understand?
not mean that you do not agree that marriage was ordained from the beginning.
Marriage was
Wait,
ordained,
relax.
but then right now, is it that necessary? One, it was for companionship. If you're getting married for companionship, you're getting married for the wrong reasons, because you have to know how to make yourself happy. You can't put that burden on somebody. Say, oh, because if you're not satisfied with yourself, or you don't know how to satisfy yourself or please yourself, or like be happy with yourself,
Content with
you
yourself.
cannot do it with someone else.
Right.
You just stress somebody else's daughter or somebody's son. So that is not a reason for me. Children, that is not a reason for me. Because
Is it because you
can
already have kids?
It's not because I already have kids, but then people give birth outside of wedlock every time.
Yeah.
People are getting married and they are not being faithful. Who are we lying
Right.
to? What is the use, honestly?
Right.
Because now you hear that you see married people, or sometimes there's a running joke. Nowadays, the marriage, especially in Accra, Bermano weekend, Bermano Volta region, na Obana ko Akosombo. Who are we fooling?
But see,
honestly,
Ngozi,
like,
Bramike wants to say something,
Yeah.
but then again, this is a misconception that we have
Yeah.
about marriages, that even if you get married, your partner is
Will
going
still
to cheat.
cheat.
And I don't think that it is ideal. A lot of young ones are trying to flee the idea of marriage because
Yeah.
of this misconception that has been put in their minds. And
Is
again,
it-
because that's all they see on social media, I feel that sometimes the
You
good relationships or marriages that are actually working and doing well, they don't put it online.
for
But the
what?
ones that come online to affect the youth and then send a negative impression of
Yeah,
marriage is the
I
ones
get
that
that.
are being cheated on, the ones that are going down the line or down the pipes and all of that.
I
So
get that.
I'm not
But you
exactly
see,
sure.
You might say it's a misconception, but then what are we seeing? You see,
Are you looking?
are we? It's not. Forget. Let's go back into the past. How many?
Hold on, I think
Wait.
Bra Mike wanted to say something
Yeah,
How
thank
many-
you.
earlier. So that
Okay.
just
I-
put
I
it
think
out
I
there.
like-
cheating part.
Hold on, we'll
I
get
like
to that.
Jonathan's energy,
Uh-huh.
but at the end, it comes back to the same point. From the beginning,
Yes.
it was marriage ordained by
Yeah.
God. What I think myself and Mama Linda alluded to is that as the world goes on, things change and you begin to see different happenings. However, it does not negate the fact that marriage is a necessity.
Right.
Now, what I want to say about marriage is that, like I said, when Adam saw Eve, he said, "This is bone of my bone
Yeah.
and flesh of my flesh." There needs to be a connection between both parties internally, not externally. Not because she is rich or he is rich, and so I can partner. That kind of relationship that over depends on the physical presence
Okay.
is likely not to subsist. But a relationship that goes beyond the physical presence into the internal, I'm talking about the spirit and the soul, is likely to go beyond the necessary range. Why am I saying this? If, for example, I enter into a relationship because he is rich, when that wealth vanishes, it is 100% reality that that marriage would end.
Right.
But if I enter into a relationship knowing that this person complements me in many aspects, whether they are rich or poor, this is someone I can relate to. You know, in life, there is somebody you can actually relate to in everything. You can have friends, but there are certain things you may not be able to tell your friends.
Yeah.
You can have family, but there are certain things you may not be able to tell your family. But there is that one person that you can actually be able to relate to.
So you are compatible.
And exactly. So the compatibility is way beyond what we see
Okay.
and acknowledge in our days. Unfortunately, it's become a difficult part in choosing marriage partners in our day, because it is become more like a transaction-based relationship
Right.
than that compatibility, kind of thing.
And okay,
Yes.
so I was actually going to ask this. Many of the marriages we are seeing crashing now can we now say that it's happening like that, or they are not doing well basically because we are entering into them with the wrong mindsets? Can that be said?
Yes, it can be said, because when you even go onto social media, you'll be shocked at the things you see. Marriage has become like a show, or a show off. You understand?
Yeah.
People are marrying just because they want to show off. I'm also married.
Exactly.
And it's becoming like a competition something.
Yeah, it's
so
like-
if
like
it is
something
like
to check off a list.
Ngozi is married, yeah, why? Ngozi is married. Okay, me yan channel.
Aye.
I go do pasam. So you see all kinds of things on social media. And like he said, compatibility. If not, you will stay in that marriage, and if you are not careful, you will end your life.
Right.
Just like you see that Nigerian musician, that popular Nigerian musician.
Who came out recently to say
No, the one who died by the husband. Ekweme.
Okay,
You know,
yeah.
it's so sad.
Yeah.
You claim you are married, but at the end of the day,
Yeah.
what
You
happens?
see, I understand what Mr. Michael said. Compatibility. Me, I feel like everything that has been said, you can do it without the whole marriage thing.
Okay,
We
so
can-
put a pin in that a minute. 0544321019. 0544321019 is 19 is our call number. So you're going to be calling in. We'll open the phone line shortly, and then you get to call and share your views with us. Also, you can call on 0303 956641. 0303 956641. Again, 0544321019. That is our call number. So please, whenever when you call, just remember to put your phones, I beg your pardon, turn off the volume of your radio set so that we do not get any feedbacks from your end. We'll be opening the phone line shortly, but now you can put down the numbers and get ready to share your views as well. Back to you, Ngozi.
Yeah, I feel like everything can be done without that signing, without the whole thing. Compatibility.
Is it about the commitment that is a problem
It's
for you?
not about the commitment. It's about the signing and making it official. Why does it have to be? Why? Nah, anything.
But
But the
that is what
government-
it's about.
No.
Or
Why shouldn't it be?
I believe marriage to me, I believe is in the heart. Like, yes, I'm in love with this person. Yes, I understand this person. This person understands me. We are partners. We will do this and that. Like, I honestly believe more in life partnership than the whole idea of like a traditional marriage kind of thing. I want someone who is my best friend, someone who is, how will I put it, like a partner in crime. And when I
so
look
why
at
not
it-
just
wait,
make
no,
it official
no,
with the marriage
for
thing?
some, for
That's why
some
he's
weird,
saying
no,
if
for
you are
some weird
compatible-
reason, the moment people marry, sometimes people seem to have that. But the moment they go and marry and they make it official, nah, they
It turns into something
so
else.
no, we can do. Let's do the boyfriend girlfriend thing for 20 years.
No,
But you know
we
that
can
is
do
living in
that.
sin
But
if you are a
Ngozi-
believer for that
It's not
matter.
living
But
in
Ngozi-
sin.
That's what I'm
God
saying.
knows
That
my
if
heart.
Ngozi-
no. If
See,
you are a
the
believer,
Samaritan woman at the well that they said Jesus was like, you have how many husbands? Those men weren't men that she had married legally. Those were men she was just having an affair with, or she has had affairs with. So God considers it marriage. To me, the moment you start touching each other's bodies and doing stuff, to me that's marriage. God considers that something
But
similar
you see,
to marriage. So if we are doing that to like,
Mr.
for
Jogoto
years,
we mentioned compatibility, okay?
Yes.
Once
All
you
that
are
can
once
be
you are
achieved
compatible,
without marriage.
fine. It's because
so that is
you got
being in a
attracted to
partnership,
the
basically.
person.
It's a partnership, a life partnership. Maybe
And then
we
you'd
live
rather-
together, maybe
so
we
with
live
that-
apart, maybe we share.
So
Because
With
we
that,
shared
is the person allowed
Mr.
to see
Jogoto,
other
let
people?
me tell.
Why?
Let me.
Because there is nothing committing them to
It
you.
depends. Okay, no, that would actually depend on the agreement that we have, because honestly, truly, I believe that when everything being equal, like everybody has their own, everybody is quite independent.
You want
and
your
everything.
space.
I want my space. I honestly don't care what you do in your free time. Just don't bring some disease, don't bring some nastiness, don't bring some disrespect,
Okay,
don't
so-
bring
so
some
it-
something.
It was
But
you
what
don't, you
do
don't
in your
believe
free
in
time,
marriage.
I don't believe in marriage.
She doesn't
Do
believe
your
in marriage.
thing.
So
Like,
you should understand.
when we hang out,
Okay.
we're friends, we're best friends.
But-
I feel like it's very unrealistic to expect someone
You see-
to be with you for like 2 decades and not cheat.
In-
Marley,
you are
hold on,
talking-
hold
That's
on.
my.
Hold
I'm not
on.
going to
Okay,
sleep.
Ngozi,
like,
that's my last question to
Uh-huh.
you. So with this, right, with this arrangement that you want, I asked if you don't mind if the person sees another person.
I
You
don't
say
know
you don't
what-
mind,
there are
but
times
unless
where-
they are not bringing you any diseases,
don't bring
right?
anything home. One, and I also don't mind getting to know like my partner's like other people. I am fine with that idea. Emma, whether we like it or not, when you check the the records, we have more women than we have men.
So you don't mind sharing,
No,
basically.
I don't think it's realistic to say someone
Oh,
should
yo.
be faithful to you by fire by force because of a ring.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
That
don't
is
think,
you.
I don't think it's realistic.
And that's you're allowed to
Yeah,
feel
I don't
that
think
way
it's
or
realistic.
think that way.
Okay,
That's
so
okay.
I see where Ngozi is coming from.
Okay.
Ngozi is not talking about marriage. I mean,
No,
she's
no,
I'm
off.
talking
Her
about
conversation
she's-
is not
she's
about marriage
completely
at all.
off.
partnership,
But
not
then,
marriage. I
It's
feel
not
but
like
then,
about
marriage
but
is
then,
not
but then,
necessary.
Oyo wanted to know
If
About-
marriage
if
is
marriage.
not necessary.
The word is
Okay.
marriage. She didn't say partnership.
Because what you
She
are
said
saying,
marriage.
you can't
So
tell it as
that
marriage.
No,
yeah,
no. So that she's not
that's
part
what-
of the convo at
Yes,
this
so that's
point.
what we are addressing.
Because she is
But
talking
then
about
I
partnership.
want to say something.
And we are talking
Okay.
about marriage.
She spoke about being
Marriage is
friends.
partnership.
She believes in being friends and all that. And I want to tell
I
you
think
that
you got
I want to
that,
tell
okay.
I want to tell
I'll
you that.
clarify that,
Look,
but-
when you are married, okay, and that commitment is there, and that love is there, you can still remain friends. Some people have done it. I have been married for, over 20 years.
Yeah.
Okay, you can still be friends. You understand? You can step out together. You can do stuff that you used to do if you are committed to it. So, Ngozi, you are not talking about marriage here.
I
No,
don't
but
see-
wait. Okay, Ngozi, have you ever been in a committed relationship?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so am I allowed to think that maybe you've come to this conclusion because of something you experienced?
I've come to this conclusion because I decided to be real and not to lie to
No,
myself.
but
I
so
think
is this how you've always been, or
No, this is
something
not-
happened that made you get to this conclusion
Okay.
and say that, okay, you know what? Let me not even expect this thing to be just like you said. Expect one person
Okay.
to be faithful
It's-
to me.
it
for,
doesn't necessarily have to have happened to me. Not
Okay.
basically, not just me. Let's go all the way into our parents and grandparents' time. How many people in your age group or this thing do you meet and then you see someone saying, "Oh, their father doesn't have outside babies," or their mother doesn't have outside babies?
A lot.
A lot have outside babies.
They don't.
Oh, really?
Yes, my
Me,
you
I
asked
don't-
of my age group,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm talking about your friend circle.
Yes.
They don't.
They
Me,
don't.
unfortunately for me, when from high school, it was actually in high school that I started seeing these things. Almost everybody's father has an outside baby.
Wow.
Young boys have outside babies. The younger ones, everybody's having an outside baby. That's what I see. I see it happening all the time. So how would you come and lie to, I feel like it's lying to yourself when you say, "Oh, this person has to be faithful," or if they cheat, I'm going to end the marriage or the relationship, or not agronegu. You're expecting 100 commitment for years, for decades. I feel like it's impossible.
It's very possible,
I
but
feel
that's
like
okay.
it's
I feel
impossible.
now
It's
from
rare.
from what she's saying now, I've realized that her environment or circumstances around her
yes,
that she's
yes,
seen
yes.
has led her to
has
this conclusion,
affected,
and that's
yes.
very much allowed.
Yes, and
Yeah, but that
so
does not mean that it's
being
not
real
possible.
with
It is
myself,
very, very possible. There are a lot of people
So-
who are
Who
in
have
very
even
committed
decided
relationships and marriages that are faithful to from both partners, and then it's living off of their children as well, or should I say yes?
Exactly.
So I mean,
I
so
believe we just have really good liars.
No,
Not faithful.
not really the point that we have really good liars. They are faithful people.
Yeah,
Very.
okay. I feel like it's
and
rare. Maybe 1 in every 1,000.
Not
or something.
No, that's
probably
not true.
probably as far as you have seen, but I have seen a lot of people also who have been very, very faithful in their marriages. The point is this: when we look at the trajectory of marriage, like you said, I mean, in some time past, men were allowed to marry as many as
they
Yes.
could
you
provide
know,
for.
and there was a reason for it. You know, in the villages, for example, they had farms, and the only way to get what do you call it, labor workforce was to get as many children as possible. Somebody has a cocoa farm of how many acres, needs workforce. I mean, definitely you need children around him and like that. Although they could get labor, they felt that the best way is, look, they are going to inherit my what do you call it,
The land
farms
when
and
I'm
all
dead.
that. So
Yeah.
let me have enough that they can be able to handle it. You know, so some of these things went into their thinking of having so many wives. And again, the point I wanted to make clear was that in the past, before even we talk about the Christian aspect, our traditions were such that people were trained for marriage.
Yeah.
Many women, like in the family, would gather around the young ones, prepare them, train them before they entered into marriage. So they would understand what they are actually committing to. So they enter into the marriage fully prepared in mind and in heart. And again, before two were joined together, they had their own way of investigating. And those investigations ended up satisfying so many things, including the spiritual and the physical. So, for example, if I choose a certain lady, I come and introduce to the family, they say, okay, give us time. They go and investigate the lady's family history and a whole lot of things. And they come and tell you, okay, this lady, we are sorry you cannot marry her for
Right.
A, B, C reasons. And when you go into it, you might realize that, okay, if I were to enter into this marriage, A, B, C, D would have been a difficulty and would bring me out. You understand the whole thing. So the entire, what do you call it, experience of marriage in the past has deviated a lot from today's activity.
Okay.
You know, somebody sees a friend, even in church, I mean, she looks good for me. I take to the family, there is no investigation,
Yeah.
there's nothing. And then we are together, and then the things
just
begin to
go
pop
in,
up,
yes.
you know, then
The trouble starts.
then it becomes difficult
To stay.
you know. So when you look at it from the trajectory, then you begin to think that it is not necessary. But in reality, if we do it right, if we get it right, it is always a necessity. Like Jonathan said,
Yes.
and I said from the beginning,
Yeah.
it is not good for man to
To
be
live
alone.
alone.
Except, of course, as Paul says, for the sake of the gospel, some give themselves up not to marry,
Yeah.
so that they could dedicate themselves completely for the gospel. Apart from that, it is very necessary because, as he said, like Ngozi was saying, I mean, there's going to be a burning desire. You have a partner, there is no commitment. Yes, you might think that, okay, you have said there shouldn't be, what do you call it, any diseases and all
Yeah.
that. How can you be so sure
That they really wouldn't
that
be.
they really wouldn't be, you know? So, as for the necessity of marriage, nobody can say no to it.
Okay.
It is very necessary. But again, the commitment is the issue. Each individual has to be properly trained and
Oriented.
conditioned.
Yes.
before you enter into it.
Right.
Because marriage is not always a bed of roses. There would be battles, there would be fights, there would be challenges. I mean, there are situations where you enter into the marriage as young couple, and then one of the partners has, let's say, a terminal disease or a serious situation, a condition.
Yes.
What would you do? Do you have to walk out because of that situation?
You stay.
Or would you stay?
Yes.
It all depends on how you have been conditioned for marriage.
Okay.
You know,
So-
I had
You know-
one of my uncles. You know, he was married. They've been married for a very long time, and then the woman had cancer. It started with her breast. They had to, take it off. Then one of her legs had to go. My uncle was there, taking care of her. The next thing we knew, she became blind. This man was there. He had to be seeing to her. What broke the camel's back? The other leg went off. No, this is true life happening that I'm telling you.
Wow. How do you deal?
How do you deal with this, Ngozi?
Wow.
Would you stay or would you go? And that's where maybe she will say, maybe after some time, the man will just go have fun and then,
You know what?
But the man was committed. My uncle was committed, was with this woman, the wife, through and through. And you know what happened at the end? At the end, my uncle died.
The lady didn't die.
No.
My God.
You see the pressure, the stress, and all
Yeah,
that he
he was
was
taking
going
it
through.
all by
Yes,
himself.
he has to carry her to the bedroom, to the bathroom, and all that. He had to go through it. Can you? At the end of the day, he died and
So,
left her.
so let me ask
But
this, right?
He could have done that without marriage, couldn't he?
Many of the people, right now who, I would say that on social media, majority of the people that I see who are scared of marriages. I have a friend who is always saying, "Oh, I don't think I want to get married," because she's had people that she thought had the best marriages on social media will come back and say that my husband is cheating, or they would come and confess to her that they are the ones cheating, right? And so it scares her. But I keep telling her that you just need to manifest what you want and tell yourself and manifest this into the atmosphere and into the world and tell God that your marriage is going to be perfect. Your husband is not going to cheat. You are not going to cheat. You won't have problems with anything related to your family or whatever, but you're going to have a beautiful marriage. Yours is not going to be like the ones that are going down the drain, right? So it makes me always wonder, and with what you both have said, can we say that most of the ones that are scared of marriages, most of the ones that do not want to attempt it, may have been conditioned from the beginning, or may have been in environments where they didn't see the best parts of marriages, but all they saw were the negatives. So they do not think that there's anything outside of what they had been exposed to.
Yes.
We can say
It
that.
is that is very, very, very true.
Okay.
For instance, let's say you're married, okay, and constantly every day, I mean, you're having issues, and Jonathan is my son, and he keeps seeing it often and often. You think that Jonathan will be interested in marriage? No, because all he sees is chaos, confusion, hatred. So why would he want to enter such a thing?
True.
But then-
I'll marry you.
You married,
You marry.
and you marry for the right reason.
But then, if he
Yeah.
sees, some homes, when there is an argument or there's problem, some of them do it so beautifully that the children don't even
get to
notice
know.
it.
True.
Maybe the mother would walk into the bedroom, sit on the bed, and cry her heart out without anybody knowing. They avoid it. You get it? And so children from such marriages would love to marry because
They've
they've
seen the beauty
seen the
of it.
beauty. So they would also want to, experience, you go through it. So it depends your environment.
Okay.
Culturally, it comes to play.
Yeah, Jonathan hasn't spoken in a while. Jonathan,
Yeah, I was just listening,
Okay.
gathering some point from what they
here
were
and there.
saying.
I know you have a lot to say, but let me ask this: when we are talking about people who are majority of the people who are scared of marriages, I would say that 99.9% are the Gen Zs. They are all about the carry and go kind of thingy. No time for emotions, no time for the heart. Let's use our head. You get what you want, I get what I want. Let's move and all of that. You are a Gen Z. I'm sure you have friends who may or may not feel the way you do about marriage, right? What kind of conversations have you heard from some people when it comes to marriages?
So often it's about, the negatives about experience from others.
Right.
So I think what Mama Lee is saying, the negatives you hear from marriage, if you don't get good news anytime, it just scares you off. You back off, even if you thought of marrying one day. But the fact that we are sitting here, and I'm very happy that, my 3 people here also accepted that.
Jonathan, not to cut you, but the phone lines again, 0544 321019. 0544321019. We are opening the phone lines in the next 5 minutes, and hopefully we can take about 3 or 4 phone calls, I beg your pardon. So you can call in and let us know what you think. Do you think marriage is a necessity? Of with everything that is being said in the studio, what have you got it? What can you add to it, and what do you think we should take out? 0544321019. I think we have our first caller already. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, and so we'll be taking that. But Jonathan, you go ahead while
Ofewa, so what I was saying was that I am very happy that we've all accepted the fact that marriage is a necessity. But one thing that we have to set apart is that the same way we know there's heaven, I think all of us in this room, we are believers. If you believe there's heaven, but I hope we believing that there's heaven does not stop people out there from sinning.
Yeah, true.
We are still sinners.
True.
The same way we know marriage was ordained from the beginning and up to date. If the Bible still stands, if we still go to church, if we still believe in the word of the Lord.
Jonathan, hold on. We have our first caller. Hello,
Your call
Smart.
has been put on hold. Please wait.
Okay. Hello.
Your call has been put on hold.
Okay, Smart has
Please
put us
wait.
on hold. So you go on.
So what I was saying, if we still believe, even around all this negativity, this toxic world, what we are saying are more developed, that we are on the age where people are using their heads, being smart enough. You're not seeing the traditional way. That does not dispute the fact that marriage is a necessity. Put marriage in that bracket. And now let's come to what you are talking about. It's as if Ngozi, making her claims, was talking about what she heard, some experience, what she feels, and
What
it has
she's seen and
what
heard.
she has seen and heard, and it has relegated her belief in marriage to the point of she feels like there's no essence of the name even marriage. And my question was, you can't even hold me, Jonathan, here responsible or even accountable.
Yeah.
If you get pregnant and I terminate the child by myself or not even consulting you, because what shows?
What shows what?
What shows what?
You see, what I'm trying to say is that you want to have that companionship with someone, and you think you want to do it outside marriage, but it is not the best way to go around it. That is never the best way to go around it.
All right, Jonathan, hold on. We have another caller. Hello, good afternoon. Hello. Hello. All right, so please try calling again. I'm not sure what's happening with the phone lines, but please keep calling 0544321019, 0544321019, and also you can call 0303-956641, 0303-956641, and then let's get talking. Jonathan, back to you.
I'm very happy that we are in the house of Zion, and what the apostle Paul said to the Corinthians, that to the unmarried and the widows, Paul says that if it is good to remain single as he is, Paul is, there's another clause that marry, for it is better to marry than to burn with passion. It is better to marry than to burn with passion. Right. So there are only 3 categories here that Paul stated emphatically. Either you are getting married not to burn with passion. Or you are setting yourself aloft to do the work of the Lord without getting attached to any human being.
Okay, so
in
no
the sense of
passion.
marriage. You know, you won't have sex. That's the prime thing there.
You're
You
able
won't
to
have sex.
kill the passion
You're
and
able to kill the
everything.
passion. You tend to be like John the Revelator self because you don't have sex. 2, the third one is either you are a widow and you think you're not getting into it again. So I want to ask Ngozi, the example that she was
Hey,
given.
This one looks
No,
like
no,
a
no.
personal something.
No, I'm not. Okay, wait. So with these
Yeah.
3 categories, sects,
What
and
are
we,
she
and
studying?
we all believe in this category, what the Apostle Paul was saying, because we believe in the Bible.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hi. Good afternoon.
Afternoon. I'm Edmond, calling from Tema.
Hi, Edmond from Tema. What do you have to say about our conversation today? I know that today you've heard many voices.
Yeah. There's one thing I want to talk about. You know, the reality is, if you've not been married before, you don't even have the guts to talk about marriage because you've not tasted it. You've not had a feel of it. You get it?
Yes.
Uh-huh. So there are things you might think is normal. There are things you might think, oh, where they are, where you but if you've not been in that shoes, how can you talk about it? Do you get what I mean?
Yes, sir.
I say, come in the order. And no, the other catch was a comedy.
On Tiasie.
Who feels it knows it more. So I think such programs should be handled by our reform and all that. You
Yes,
get
that's
it?
why we have Mr. Jokoto and Mama Lee here. So they are speaking for those who are in it. And then the youngins are also speaking for what is scaring them away from marriage, what they are hearing on social media, what they are seeing around that is making them think that they don't even have to get into the institution.
And my sister, do you know something?
Tell me.
If the reality having hit you, you might think that form, I mean,
Yeah.
you can be doing good and get married, and I mean, everything is fuck up and disrespect and all that to set in.
Mm.
You get it?
Yeah.
So the little advice I have is, let's pray to God, whatever we wish for will come to pass. Because
Amen.
it's not easy out there.
But do you believe that marriage is a necessity?
Oh, to me, no.
Okay. Why so?
Yeah.
Why do you think it's not a necessity?
Because overcome and wow, overcome and the mindset it doesn't even give us the chance to do so. You get it?
Yeah.
Yes. So if you think you don't want to get married, then that's it. It's your opinion. It's your lifestyle.
Choice is your choice.
What if you go in and you end up losing yourself? You get it?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's how it should be.
All right. I like that he personalized it and said for him, he doesn't think it's a necessity. So just like what you and Mali, Mr. Jokoto and Mali said from the beginning, is a choice.
Yeah.
If you believe
Yeah.
in it, it will work for you. You understand?
Yeah.
I wanted to
Yeah.
take it from the question you asked
Jonathan.
The reason
Okay, let me, hello. Oh, he's gone. All right. Thank you very much for calling. You can also call 0544-321019, 0544-321019, and then we will get right into it. Hello, good afternoon. Hello. All right, so please, you can call again, 0544-321019, 0544-321019, or 0302 0303-956441. Hello, good afternoon. Hello. Hi, good afternoon. Please, your name and where you're calling from. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, we can
I'm
hear you,
Asamai.
please. Okay, I'm Asamai. And your name, please?
So my name is Bernard.
All right,
And,
Bernard, let's hear you.
I want to contribute. So all I want to say is that I think marriage is a necessity.
Okay.
And, marriage is very, very, very good. Marriage is very, very, very enjoyable. Marriage is very, very, very sweet.
Wow, I like that. I like that. Would you want to share with us why you're saying all these things? Because from the way you're speaking, it means that you've had a great, or you are enjoying a very beautiful marriage. So please share with us.
Yes. Okay. So I married at the age of 26 years.
Wow.
Right after the sexual institution, and I've been in marriage for the past 18 years.
Wow.
Married 2007. So next month, I think we are turning 18 years next month. And
That's
so
beautiful.
far, it's been very, very good. So I've been listening to the conversation you were having for about 30 minutes ago, and I heard something one lady said about marriage, and I think all those who are listening and are enjoying marriages have to call and contribute so that people will see that, I mean, the negative side of the marriages that they hear on social media is not, I mean, the same everywhere. And I mean, there are a lot of people who are really enjoying their marriages.
Okay.
So, I have not cheated on my wife before.
Wow. I mean, everybody in the studio is clapping for you right now. We are clapping for you.
I'll give you one keyboard.
I have not cheated on my wife before, and my wife too, I know, has never done something before. Now, I am a civil engineer. I used to travel a lot. I mean, you know, construction. And there's a tag that, as a construction people there, wherever you go, you have to leave a mark.
True.
And then we go, and a lot of things happen. Now, I've been tempted so many times, so many different ways. So I think the whole thing is that it's your belief that you have. You see, the man who just called, I have to say something about marriage is not a necessity, and then you ask why, and he said at times you go in, it doesn't work. At times you go in, it works. But I think marriage is like life. Now, let's look at life. When you complete school, is it everybody that gets jobs to do? The answer is no.
No.
See? So the thing is, yes, at times you become lucky. And if you are a religious person like myself, you trust that whatever happens, happens for good. And you wish for the best to happen. You see? So when you find yourself in a negative situation in the marriage, it doesn't mean that's the end of the marriage.
I agree.
You keep on hoping that the better one will come, or the better situation, or whatever it is, will happen. And the more you keep on wishing the better or the good things, they come to you. So it's more, I think that it's a life situation that the youth shouldn't be afraid of getting married because they are hearing a lot of negative things about marriage.
True.
The truth
Thank
is
you.
that the devil is against marriage. So he will always propagate the negativity of it to people so that people will shy or people will not even get closer. Now, I heard something, one lady contributing and was talking about people, I mean, you can't be sure the person is not, faithful. And all that.
Yeah.
Talking about faithfulness in marriage is also another thing. So, most people, before they get married, have explored a lot and all that. And then there are a whole lot of theories around. People say a whole lot of things. You have to get a garden, although you have a farm, and all that. This psychic issue and all these things. So the whole thing is you yourself. You see, you yourself. Don't listen to the negative aspect. There are a lot of positivities in marriages that should draw people to marry. So I don't know if you have any question for me, but I'm ready to say anything you want me to say because I'm a testimony. So
yes. So
my parents, I can't say I saw so much of a very good marriage in my parents, but the few things that I was taught from, church and then my beliefs, I followed it and it has worked for me. Yeah, it doesn't mean I've not encountered any negativity in marriage before. That is not it. So
All right, so
but you have to be positive.
All right. So now we just want to find this out I want to find this out from you. You said that it's not that you haven't had problems in your marriages, right? So for the 18 years that you've been married to your partner, how do you resolve conflicts that has brought you this far?
Yeah. So as I said again, you see, we are coming from a Christian background. And we know that they say your teeth and your tongue.
Yeah.
They attack conflict, but they resolve it. Now, so there's a conflict. Apart from talking about it, there's nothing you can do. So you talk about it. One must be ready to apologize, or one must be ready to take responsibility that, oh, I'm sorry. And this is our problem. Saying I'm sorry in marriage or in even our community or our society, it's a heavy problem for most people. You see, they think, oh, the fact that I surrender, it means I am weak.
Right.
You understand? So all the time, oh, let me be on the defensive side. Let me be on the defensive side. Yes. So I think we've been successful in our marriage or in my marriage because I'm very quick to accept there is an issue and I think it's my fault. And at times, for the sake of you people being happy or for the sake of peace, you can even just surrender so that there'll be peace. And the truth of the matter is that see, both of you are coming from different backgrounds. You are coming from different tribes. You are coming from different parents. So your minds can never be the same. You see? So, and we all know that once you are together, you are one. So all the time, you must try and then work towards the oneness. And what is the oneness? The oneness is that, there's an issue that can easily, turn to something else. And already, bear in mind, the person you are saying is, you know the person, or you've known the person for some time now. So, you know, some of the negatives and the positive, you know the weak points of the person. I'm talking about when there's an issue.
Yeah.
Yes. So, after studying all those aspects, you just have to be led. Because I don't think somebody will be 15 years and say, I'm going to marry.
All right. Definitely. Thank you very, very, very much. And of course, we are wishing you a happy anniversary in advance to you and your wife. Continue being faithful and show us how it is done because all of us, we want to enjoy marriage. And we will enjoy marriage. Thank you so. Yes.
You are welcome. Bye.
One thing to say about the gentleman that said, so won't worry, men can be. I feel like that's one thing, especially women use against when they get married. Oh, you won't understand. I'm married now. You understand?
But sometimes I feel like there are things that you can't speak on if you don't have.
But this same person, where you see, but this same person, he's not a professional footballer, but Black Stars boy, so okay. The point is, you don't have to be in it to see what is wrong or right in it. I don't have to have experienced it to see from other people's experiences what is good and what is right and what is like.
All right, Ngozi, not to cut you, but we have another caller. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, please. What your name and where you're calling from?
I'm Smart, calling from Adenta.
Hi, Smart. What do you have to say today?
First, I have to say this, marriage is a beautiful thing, but what I hear from marriage these days, I'm afraid to get married. But, when you marry because, when you get married because it's a necessity, you finally regret getting married. And
okay.
Marriage, and marriage is not a necessity, I think so. And marriage is supposed to be something, a personal decision, because when you say, I'm going to marry because somebody married. As my sister, you regret it. And that's I have to say.
So what do you think should be the reason for marriage in the first place? Because sometimes we say love is not enough.
For me, getting married, you need to be financially capable. Then the love supposed to be there. That is number one reason.
So it's about the finances, eh?
Yeah, not just the finances. Everything, not like marriage. The person that gets married you should tell yourself the truth that you are capable of getting married. It's not even because of money or love. You getting married is supposed to be more than this.
All right, Smart. Thank you very, very much for calling. Because of time, I think we will just do one more phone call. So you'll be lucky if you're the one we get to pick. 0544-321019, 0544-321019, or 0303-956641, 0303-956641. Mr. Jokoto, you were on the line before.
Yes, so listening to the first caller, you would realize that he's speaking from his experiences.
Yeah.
Probably he has
seen or
experienced something, you know. But again, it all boils down to what we have been saying, that marriage is about compatibility. And then again, as the second caller said, you must be prepared for it. Preparation is emotionally and everything. I mean, you have to be fully prepared and committed to the fact that I want to be married. You know, I've known people who even got married right after school when they had barely started working, and their marriages are still blossoming because they were prepared and committed.
Just like our second caller, he said right after school.
Exactly. So what I want to say to the current generation, like the last caller was saying, is that marriage is beautiful, but when you rely on what you hear and see on social media in particular, it may become a scary event for you. But beyond social media, beyond what we see, beyond what we hear, again, Mama Lee mentioned that if you live in an environment where the marriage was terrible, there is the likelihood of having a very but again, that can be cured when we get into the right environment in church or your groupings, where you have people talking to you about the reality, the beauty of marriage. Then lastly, what I want to say is this aspect of cheating. A lot of it comes from so many things. One of it is after you have tried so many, especially with sex, and sex is not just the act, but the emotional attachment. There is the likelihood that if you settle down and there is a slight problem, you begin to gravitate towards what you have had before. And that immediately you find that person close by, there is a likelihood of the attempt to cheat or the cheating process. So it is always advised that in terms of sexual relations, we should, as much as possible, despite all the temptations that will come, as much as possible, try to keep ourselves chaste until we are fully committed to that right partner in marriage.
It's difficult
It
for
is-
them.
I understand.
It's the in thing now.
No, I understand. I understand the fact that
Yes.
I understand the
Just
fact
light.
that is difficult, but
But I
you
don't
see-
think it's difficult if you've never tried it. If you have no idea of what it is,
no.
would you find it difficult?
I feel like, yes, it will still be
The point is that
the hormones
the apart from the hormones, we live in an information-based world now.
Yes.
There's so much information floating around. It will amaze you to note that even 12-year-olds, 11-year-olds have knowledge that even we the
Yes.
adults don't
You
have,
have no idea.
concerning
Sure.
these things. But the point is, if you go ahead to try, there are consequences that must be made known. And some of these affect the future marriage. You know, once you have a sexual relationship, there is a consummation and a connection. Breaking that connection is not as easy as I won't see you again, go.
Yeah. The soul ties.
There are soul ties. Thank you for that
But you
word.
see,
And so those soul ties.
Solomon is my role model.
Are you serious? Jonathan, go and sleep. You're mentioning Solomon at this time. And you want to get married.
But Solomon got married. Solomon was a married man. Solomon never disputed the fact of marriage
Right,
being something
please
or
say
being not
Jonathan.
bad. No, Solomon was a married man.
He was.
Yes.
So wait, in this day and era, you want to have the number of women Solomon had?
Not the number,
And
but
he
at least
had
multiple. Men are naturally born to be polygamous.
Really?
I
He had concubines as well.
What you say?
So wait, hold up.
I disagree with you on that
this
point.
is, no. You can disagree with me,
Wow.
but we can't do away with
Okay,
nature
no problem.
and
Hold
how
on.
men are wired.
Jonathan,
So
wait.
that
Let me
means
ask you this.
Jonathan-
Let me ask you this.
2 questions.
You say that you want to marry.
Yeah.
You'd have a beautiful marriage.
Yeah.
But you want multiple partners.
Exactly.
How so?
So because Chade, thankfully we have Hajia, Memuna, Isifu.
Are you a Muslim?
No, I'm not a Muslim. And I don't have to be a Muslim before. And even one thing is that one building block of mankind that we are missing is that men are born to be polygamous.
Says who?
Says even in the Bible, there's nowhere in the Bible that there's the condemnation.
Says
Where-
It's
where in the
not
Bible?
men.
Where in the Bible?
It's not. I
Exactly.
beg your pardon. Can I say something?
Why do
It
we?
is not
why
men.
do we
Wait,
always
let me
take out
the man says
parts that
he's
suits you?
King
It's
Solomon.
not men. Wait, it's not men that are naturally polygamous.
What?
It's rich. Like you have to have the wealth.
No.
Wait,
Oh my
you cannot
God.
be. Wait, is not.
Oh, no, because it's not.
Because polygamy is a thing.
Even
I
some,
believe-
Okay,
some
guys,
poor
I
men
believe in
Can we-
polygamy,
are
but you
are
cannot be a
polygam-
poor man and decide to
Can
be
we just
polygamous.
come back?
No, you can't.
It's not
you can't-
hello.
no, some,
Okay, so everybody's microphone is off. Everybody's microphone is off. Thank you very much. Let's not deviate from the discussion. Now we are bringing up different branches. Let's wrap up with marriage. I beg your pardon, as to whether marriage is a necessity or not. And let's just bring it to a close. And then another day, we can come back and talk about cheating, polygamy, and all of that. So let's end it so that Jonathan can bring us pause. Hey, Solomon, what do I see you go pa?
So wrapping up here on my
No,
thoughts
wait,
about
let
marriage. Yeah,
Mr. Jokoto conclude.
Okay, so like we have said from the beginning, and the quotation that I gave from Genesis 2, God said, "It is not good for man to be alone." And we know that God created man before any other creation in terms of humanity. So marriage is a necessity, but it must also be at a point where you are committed, prepared, and dedicated to it
Okay.
before you
get
enter.
into it.
It shouldn't be like the last caller said, because it is a necessity, you just jump
Rush
into it.
into it.
No,
Okay.
that shouldn't be the case. You should be fully prepared. You should be educated about it. I think one of the things that we also need to do better, both as the church and as the home institution, is to train our children to understand the institution of marriage properly.
Okay.
So that they would not be educated by social media and what they
Right.
see.
Right. Thank you very, very much.
Yeah.
I'll go to Ngozi and then I'll come to you. So in a minute, because of time, let's do it quickly.
Okay, when okay, what the last thing that I have to say about marriage is I still don't believe it's a necessity.
Okay.
Yes, it might be a thing you want to do. It's a personal choice. It's not a necessity. It's not a do or die affair. Like Mama Lee said, people do it because like they're checking crossing out something on the list. Oh, I'll graduate school, I'll get married, I'll have children. Those are not good enough reasons. A great reason, or the only reason why someone should be married is, like he also said, Uncle Michael also said, is you have to be dedicated. You have to know that this is something that you want. You have to, and I feel like a lot of us don't have that mentality for marriage. So I feel that's why I feel it's not necessary, because I feel like we don't have the mentality. A lot of us cannot do the work because marriage is hard work. Marriage is not something you just go into and feel like, oh, obiba, obiba, and then you're doing as and what. No, it's not like that. You have to be accountable to the person. You have to be accountable to yourself and dedicated and committed to building something. And that is very hard work. I don't feel a lot of us have it in ourselves, like to put everything into a marriage, put everything into your own personal development, put everything again into the children as well that you're bringing up. I feel like that's a lot to put into, like, to just keep giving out, or, you know. So I don't feel like it's a necessity. You can have the children, you can have, I would rather want to put my energy into maybe my personal development, my growth, my mentality, my mental health, my peace of mind, my children, their growth, their education, this and that, than to go home and then have to answer to someone, or someone even get angry because where are you? You went, you didn't tell me, or you paid your mother's bill, and it's
thank
too much.
you. But with that, I also feel that it depends on who you are doing the married thing with. So you need to be cautious and conscious of who you are entering into that journey with in the first place, so that you don't feel like you're answering to them.
Yeah, but you see,
understand?
a lot of people don't do that deep work. They want to just get married, and so they just want to get the fact that someone has asked, all right, I'm going to.
But
go
you
and get
realize that the
married.
marriage we are talking about here is not the one that everybody is jumping into, but the real deal. That's what the conversation has been. Yeah.
You know, I mean, wrapping up, I think marriage is something very divine, you know, ordained by the Lord. So if you're out there, you know, being a Gen Z or whatever, even if you're a widow, you want to go back into it, just know that you have to, make the bold step and also pick the right partner, you know, the good person who have that hotspot, someone to connect very well. There might be negatives outside there, but that, shouldn't be the case to diminish the beautiful nature of what marriage was meant to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Thank
all I
you
have to
very,
say.
very much. And Mali is wrapping up for us.
Yes, like I said, in the beginning.
In the beginning.
Yes, it was there. God ordained it, you know. But concluding, I would say that, like I said in the middle of the discussion, I said, is it necessary? It depends on you.
Right.
Yes. Somebody can decide or choose to be single for the rest of her life because she
And that's
doesn't
okay.
want problems. She doesn't want wahala, no stress. You understand?
Yes.
So I would, stand by that. It depends on you. It's your choice.
So it can be a
depends on
necessity for you personally or not.
That or not.
Okay.
It depends on my values, my goals. You understand? What I want. So, I don't think that it is like a necessity.
Okay.
You don't force people to get married. You understand? Yes.
Thank you very, very much. Jonathan is coming up. He needs to adjust his voice for sports. So he's coming up with sports shortly. But I feel marriage is a beautiful thing. I've seen unions that have blossomed over the years and they wax stronger and better even as they age. That's why when Ngozi asked, I said I have been around people whose marriages have made me, even at age 14, I couldn't wait to get married. Right? But then I've also made my fair share of mistakes of getting into the wrong relationships and then realizing halfway or in between that I didn't take time, and so I need to come back out. And that's not what we are looking for in marriage. So yes, I believe marriage is a beautiful institution. When done the right way, you would definitely reap the great benefits of it. And it's an everyday thing. You never stop working in marriage, because you work around the clock to make it work, to know what you did wrong here that you can adjust to make it better here. So yeah, we'll be coming in after sports to read the messages. I've seen a lot of messages and I can't wait to get into them. So stay with us. This is still Highway 1019. Thank you, Mr. Jokoto. Thank you, Mama Linda. Thank you, Ngozi Boate. And thank you, Jonathan the Sports Latan, for joining us for this beautiful discussion. And to everybody who called as well, we are so grateful. We are back after sports. This is still Highway 1019 on Z 101.9 FM.
The stage is set for something special.